All right, we're back in the garage. I got the Monte Carlo here, and I'm going to show you guys what we're working on tonight, and that is a really cheap fan setup. So I LS swapped my 70 Monte Carlo. Now I'm turboing it, a little sloppy mechanic style, and my exhaust pipe right there. That is going to hit my old shroud. So I just had the factory shroud I cut down. And then I went on Amazon, bought myself a $70 Jeep fan. It moves tons of air, works great. If you're just doing a straight LS swap, highly recommend you getting the Jeep fan. I originally went with two 12-inch fans or two 10-inch fans, just the cheap race ones from Summit or Speedway or something like that, and put them on a shroud similar to what I'm going to build here, but this one's going to be a little nicer. And it didn't move enough air. You can hear this fan running, and you know it's moving air. You can hear the air moving. The other ones you could hear, but you couldn't hear no air movement. So, but here's the hack. I was looking. It's $85 for any fan shroud. So I was like, well, I'll just get some sheet metal and make my own. Sheet aluminum's expensive. Sheet steel is expensive. But what's not expensive is this. This is a $12 metal drain pan. I got this one at AutoZone. I just Googled on my phone. They showed up. They were cheaper by a couple bucks than O'Reilly's or any other ones. You can get them at Walmart cheap too, I think. But what I have going on is I have an aluminum radiator here. The center core is 22.5 inches wide. It is 19 inches tall. My fan is 19 inches tall. So I need a little bit of a gap. So the plan is I'm going to make the fan shroud thicker at the fan side than it is at the radiator by about an inch, and then we'll fold it up in there. So I'll show you what I have here and how I have this laid out. So I started at this end here. I don't want to have to deal with this curve. So I took a speed square, not just for woodworking, popped it down there, boom. My radius ends at 3 inches, so I just hook my marker in there, keep my square, run it all the way up. I know I have a straight edge, 3 inches, we're gonna cut that away. I know I want my fan shroud to be 2 inches thick, so I added 2 inches here. And then I went from this line, I know my core is 22.5. I wanted to be 2 inches thick, so I added 4 inches total. And then I ran my speed square on this line and ran it up. And then I ran into an issue where my speed square is not long enough. So you need like for this project, ideally you want like a 8-inch speed square instead of a 6-inch speed square, because this thing's a 1/2 inch short. But it was pretty easy. I just had to measure 2 inches away from there and run that up. Once I found my center line this way, I'm going to go off the edge here, which I'll end up probably cutting. I know I'm 19, so I wanted to add 2 inches. So what's that, 23? So that's about how wide this is. And then I found my center point, laid my fan down in there, measured out, traced it out. I would recommend, if you're doing a project like this, leave the fan hole not cut out. Get all of your bends correct. The very last thing you do after it's mounted in there is cut the hole for the fan, because I know the fan's going to fit in there. I measured it. I actually traced around this whole fan, so I know it's going to fit. So now what you're going to have to do is cut this out, and you're going to have to overlap your corners. So what you do is you would cut, imagine this is all cut out as a square, cut this line down here, and then when you fold it, you're going to have this tab attached. You can fold that at a 90, bend it over, and then put a rivet right here through this piece, because this piece is going to fold down. You're going to fold that edge this way. This piece is going to fold down, and you'll have that overlapped. That'll keep any air from getting out. Basically, you're trying to create a space where this fan's going to pull across every inch of that radiator. Any space where it's not attached to the radiator is potential cooling loss. That may have been part of my issue when I was running the dual fan setup, it wasn't a very good fit. The fans themselves didn't move a ton of air, yes, but with this setup, it's gonna be fine. And also, as open as this is, look, as open as that is, if I'm just driving down the road, there's gonna be a lot of air pushed through there. There's plenty of vent area there. The cheap fans, the blades are a lot wider. There's not a whole lot of air. This thing gets really cool when you're driving down the interstate. You stop at a stoplight. I think I get right to about 200 degrees, which on an LS is about right where it's gonna be. So I'm gonna pause this real quick because I'm not a big videographer. I don't do much videos, but I'm gonna pause this real quick. I'm gonna cut this out and I'll show you what I'm talking about with folding these over. And then you could use bolts. I prefer to use rivets. You can always drill a rivet out if it's not right, but it just makes it easier. You don't have to worry about bolts falling out. And then two, on the outside, the rivets look pretty nice. So if you're looking for something that doesn't look horrible. Granted, you're gonna have this seam right here in your fan. So if you're really particular, but a sheet of metal this perfect for $11, you can't beat it. So, all right, I'm gonna pause this real quick, cut this out, and we'll get back to it. All right, so I just bent this over my toolbox. As you see, I cut the ends off, both sides. I still have these on because I'm gonna use these for the mounting tabs, this little extra. So I cut that in on each end. I cut that in, so as I fold this tab down, and I fold this tab down, they'll overlap and make a 90. As you can see, not the greatest here. If you had a break, you know, I got a dead blow hammer and a shitty old tool cart lid, but I'm going to now grab a piece of angle iron, I think, and try to rotate this up and bend it. So wish me luck. So I just used this little piece of angle I had, some big locking pliers, and I did one side and then moved to the other side, bent these tabs up, and you end up with a pan that's 2 inches deep with your little extra here. So I can wrap that around the top and bottom of the radiator here and secure it into the top portion. So now all I gotta do is drill a hole. I'll probably do 2 holes on each end. Square these up, 2 holes, rivet, 2 holes, rivet. Repeat, cut this bad boy out, and then mount the fan. So hope this is helpful. You know, if you got, that took me, this minute right, there's 8 minutes into this video. I probably got another 10, maybe 12 minutes of actual work outside of the video. So a 25-minute job, well worth saving $50 to $80 on a shroud. And you know, it's kind of nice to fab your own stuff up. So if you have a longer 2x4, I've made one before and I had a 2x4, cut it to the right length. Makes it go super easy. Just use a little dead blow hammer. It works just as good as a brake. So hope this was helpful, guys. Hope to see everybody's projects out on the road. If you like this, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And as always, T-tops off.